Hello everyone. Today we will talk about how to prepare for UPSC examination. We might know that UPSC is a dream of many people in this country. Around at any given point of time nowadays, almost 1 million people will try to apply for the exam, among which hardly 50% of the guys comes to the examination hall, and only another 3 lakh to 4 lakh members only appear for the paperwork. Now looking what is the importance of UPSC is, here we will talk about UPSC, that is civil service examinations only. We are not talking about other examinations which are conducted by UPSC. So it is Union Public Service Commission, which conducts on a regular basis depending upon at any given point of time. The posts will vary from 750 to 1100 posts at any given point of time. The number of postings will vary. So for these postings, among the 24 services available in the country, from ranging from IAS, IPS, IFS, IFOS, IRS, income tax officers, all those things are depending upon the postings, the value available, the vacancies available, UPSC will conduct the examination. Among the candidates we see, in order to prepare for UPSC, even though number of candidates come out to prepare for UPSC, the major thing they lack is majority of the guys, they don't read the notification. This is a very important problem which we observed in our classroom sessions also. They won't read the notification. You are preparing for a competitive examination, you don't know its syllabus, what is the eligibility criteria, all those things, then the questions can be raised about your sincerity for preparing any competitive examination. Moreover, when you are talking about civil services examination, it is considered as one of the toughest examination to crack, because out of 1 million people who apply, hardly 1000 members to 700 members only get qualified. In that case, you can understand the standard of the questions they give, how dynamically they will change. So whenever you are coming to prepare for such an examination, be it at home or whenever you are going for your offline class mode as well, you need to understand the notification. So whenever you go for UPSC, whenever you read the notification of UPSC, their first thing you concentrate is what is your age, eligibility, next education eligibility, these sort of things. If both are matching, then you go for another set, what is the syllabus. A detailed copy of syllabus is provided in UPSC notification itself. What are the points they want to cover in case of prelims examination, what are the points they want to cover for mains examination, and how they will try to interact with you in your interview purpose. If you look in the notification, they mention they want to have a general administrators. They want to create a general administrators, but not a subject matter experts. This is another important. There is a huge difference between general administrators and subject matter experts. Those are called your SMEs. Subject matter experts are those guys who have clear cut understanding of their subject and their expertise in their own subject. Sure, some person might be a lawyer who has huge and every respect towards how the things need to be done, what are the legality of a session and everything. Another person will have better understanding how the process and procedure of the administration will work out. Another person will be much more keenly knowing about the geological statistics of the country. Another person will be much more of a sociologist. So those are all nothing but your subject matter experts. But the guys who will be recruited by UPSC for the purpose of running the administration and be the part of bureaucracy of this country, they are expecting a general administrator. What do you mean by general administrator? He will have a understanding about each and every department, how the functionality will have, how the country need to be run, how the existing functional systems are there, what are the rules and regulations are existing, all those things they will have an understanding. So at any given point of time, they can move from one department to another department also. That's why you can see now and then an IAS officer will be heading defense ministry, they will be cogs and everything. IRS officer can also come and sit down into some defense ministry also. There are cases like that. Why? Because they are recruited by UPSC and they were trained to be a general administrator. You don't need, you might be specialized going down the line. Once you achieve the range of joint secretary, you might be specialized in certain expertise, certain area like defense production, internal security of the country, finance matter, but still you are a general administrator. You should show this capability. This capability, whether you have the capability of general administration, is what is getting interviewed. This is what will be interviewed. Majority of the candidates leave this area what they are getting interviewed for and go away talk about all the things. They want to have a general viewpoint. A well educated person will have, he might have heard about that subject, he might need to learn about that subject so that he can give a opinionate idea. That's what is get interviewed. So in the 3 stages of examination, that is your prelims, mains and interview, all your characteristics, how you write an exam. Prelims is of qualifying in nature, so once you clear the cutoff you are good. Next, your mains and interview marks clubbed together is what is of importance, which provide you a better ranking. So whenever you are preparing for UPSC, first and foremost thing you need to know is about how the notification looks like. What are the things you need to concentrate on the notification. I have seen guys who will talk that no, first we will prepare for prelims, then once we qualify we will prepare for mains. This is all unwarranted business. Never do that. Start your preparation at any given point of time from mains, because if you look at the commonality of syllabus between prelims and mains, there is one major commonality which UPSC is focusing nowadays and from far away days also, that is your current affairs. Be it be your mains examination point of view or be it be prelims examination point of view, they try to club the current affairs with the static portion that is available in UPSC. The static portion is your history, your geography, your Indian polity part, and your economics, nowadays environment, ecology, biodiversity, which is also covered as part of your geography, general science. In this static syllabus, they try to club the existing dynamic content, that is the day-to-day current affairs. When both are clubbed together, the type of questions they can create is imminent, which UPSC is nowadays focusing. For every 4 to 5 years, UPSC will set up a trend of how to ask the questions. Nowadays they are in this mode of, rather than corely concentrating on static syllabus, they, along with the static syllabus, they are clubbing any current affairs related topic. That current affairs, whenever you are preparing for UPSC, take the time frame from December of the previous year November of the next year. Next year means this is the year when you will write your mains. So December to December coverage will help you immensely. 1 year current affairs you should be subject matter experts. But now and then there are chances that UPSC can still ask on the subjects which are beyond that year, or previously it has already happened, means previous 2 years also. But for that you need to understand for how many years a particular topic is having its continuity. So now and then best examples are this constitutional amendments related, Supreme Court verdicts. That issue might be going on now and then, it might pop up in the year in which you are writing your prelims or mains exam, so that can become your current affair. So try to look about the things which are continuing for years, so that you need, in order to for you to have a holistic understanding, you should go to about that topic as well. So this is about a general overview how to prepare for UPSC, that is by going through the notification. Until you have a clear cut understanding your notification as well as your syllabus, preparing UPSC is a dream. Don't even think that until you go without going through syllabus you can crack, means that's not a possible case scenario. Now we will get back to how to read through the syllabus part. Why we talked about, rather than preparing for prelims initially, why we talked about preparing for mains. So now we will start with the mains, not prelims. as we know, the mains examination is subjective in nature, so you have to write a detailed note. Whenever a particular person is trying to present his viewpoints, he need to read and reread. So all the prelims questions in one or the other way are related to mains only. Whenever you have read for your mains, taking out objective set of questions out of that main syllabus is what is your prelims, along with certain amount of current affairs, general studies related subjects, those sort of things. Moreover, in mains, if you have the skeletal structure of your entire syllabus, suppose this is the skeletal structure of your entire mains syllabus, prelims is nothing but a layer of skin on top of that, nothing else. That is what is prelims. Best example, ancient history related questions will be asked in prelims, but a part of ancient history, which is nothing but Indian art and culture, that is both for prelims and mains. So this is how the part and structure will be there. Another important thing, Indian polity is there for mains and prelims, but governance part is additionally included in your mains. So if you go through a particular set of topics within mains concentratively, attempting prelims is not a hard task, because for mains you will prepare in a much more detailed fashion when compared to your prelims. Another important strategy which you need to remember is prepare holistically. Prepare as a whole means preparation should be in a such a way that from the day one onwards you should be in the assumption that you are going to attempt it and you are going to make it up to the interview. If you don't have that confidence, there will be certain amount of lacking, certain amount of dragging backwards. Somebody will be pulling you backwards internally, saying you might not clear UPSC. So from day one, prepare in such a way that you are trying to attempt and you are trying to go for interview itself. It might not be your prelims, it might be from mains, but directly up to the interview. So if you have that confidence, that will be the first step towards your success in UPSC. So today we will conclude up to that part as part 1 for how to prepare for UPSC. Yeah, the subsequent parts will be following. Thank you.